All right, I made it. Yay. It's Friday. And as usual, I have so much work to do, but it's okay. Let me get my life together. I actually been sitting here for like 4 hours. So I really have already been working, but I wanted to get some stuff set up before I went live. So I'm pretty I'm pretty on track. I got in the zone, but I might be like running out of I might be running out of caffeine. So I might need to pick me up. But for right now I'm good. I'm good. So I'm trying to get my life together with the finishing up as many of my action items for the week as I possibly can. Um I have an event next week, next weekend. I'm speaking at a conference. I'm speaking at Michigan Dev Fest. So, with the panel that I'm going to be on, I have to make sure that I get them some of um, like my headshot and make sure my card, like my speaker card, gets updated so I can promote that and everything. So I haven't done that yet today. I need to like go through and send text messages and things like emails to people who probably messaged me days ago and I just haven't gotten back to them. And then today I want to work on Lovable. I'm actually planning on using Lovable with one of the projects that I'm working on. Um, I have this theory that it will be faster. Baby, you don't want here? Come here. I have this theory that it will be faster for me to redo this app from the beginning with AI than it would be for me to go through the tech debt of the existing build. Um, so it's an experiment, but I haven't really used Lovable before in particular. I have used I used Bolt.new. I used Cursor. I'm trying to think if it's another online builder that we use besides Bolt. I can't remember now. Justice, stop sticking your toes in there. So, anyways, once I get a few like more urgent things off of my list, then I'm gonna be sharing my screen for experimenting in Lovable. I'm not gonna, babe. Do you want to sit up here? Hold on, hold on. Here, get down. Okay, well stop. You're doing too much. Okay. I do want you to use it. Sit back. You can't, baby. Get down. Get off me. Come here. Because you don't want to participate. You too big to be doing all that. Here, let's get you a chair. You want your own chair? Yeah, let's get you a chair. Yep, I'm gonna get you a chair. What? You want your tablet? You turn that down. Turn that down. Is it charged? Is it charged? Bring it here. Justin. What are you mad for? Nothing. Baby, go get the tablet. Okay, cool. That is insane. All right. Lovable. So yeah, I can't remember which builders I've used before. I've definitely used Bolt.new. Um, I don't typically use the builders now because I have my own AI development workflow. But get from under there. Now come here. If you want to sit up here, you need to sit still. Okay? I don't care. You gonna run the show. All right? Is this sufficient? I'm gonna get you a chair. Y'all don't know why you all on my phone. Yeah, I'm gonna get you a chair. Let me see if I can do myself a favor because you doing a lot. That's dead. Yes, dead. See, it's not charged. Mm-mm. Are you bored? Oh, you bored? Let me see if I can detect your casting from here. Okay, so Lovable. Yeah, I don't know if I've used any. I know for sure I haven't played around with Lovable ever, but I've been hearing good things from other people that I know that are using it firsthand. Like I said, I prefer to use my AI development workflow, but this is very much like a time is of the essence, getting the most bang for my buck, need a new MVP that is functional and can go in front of a customer like ASAP. So, baby, you want to go eat? Okay. You want some macaroni and cheese? You want to have the rest of my smoothie? Okay, go get your cup. Go get your cup. You want this? Go get the cup. Yeah. I was gonna make another one anyway because he already took part of it, and I actually was enjoying that. But yeah. So, anyways, I want to get an MVP like delivered ASAP with minimal amount of like time, if that makes sense. Like not trying to maximize the time because time is of the essence, and also time is very very limited. That's pretty much where I'm at with that. Um, so yeah, for right now, I think what saves me time in the long run is I need to stop. I'm already pouring it. I need to you gonna make sure you get every drop. That's so rude. You took every single drop. Okay. Thank you. It's really good, right? I'm gonna make another one because I'm hungry. Here. You're welcome, Bubba. Hold on to it. Let me see if I can get to your casting. Ooh. You want macaroni and cheese? Okay, here I come. I know. Let me see if I can get to your thingy thing. Boop 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 boop. Where is it? I think I need to have something with video on in order for. Wait, where's the casting? Oh, here it is. Cast. See, that's nice. Working the way I was expecting it to. I'm struggling. All right, let me leave stuff alone and do it the right way. Close this. Do I want to go to this event? I'm about to get up and make another smoothie and give him something to eat. Should I eat lunch now? I probably should. Get what I got? Salmon in there that I made. I can eat that in the smoothie. I'm scared to put my protein in my smoothie because I don't want to ruin the actual flavor of the smoothie and not eat it. Oh yeah, I said later if I need to, I'll just make a regular protein shake. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna make the smoothie and then oh yeah, I'll get a snack. Okay. Yeah, I need my food. I need everything situated, and then I'm gonna be ready to get into it. So Lovable. Oh, I was gonna say what I feel like will save me time with Lovable, and just with any other like tooling in general, is to experiment with it first, so I can get the feel for it. Especially with AI models, like the language models, they're all so unique. So hold on, I'm gonna turn my audio up and turn this music down. Um, I feel like it's a little bit loud, and then I can turn my headphones up. First of all, why is it on there? Why is camera trying to get? It's not loud enough though. Okay, I guess. But yeah, what was I gonna say? um, yeah, most bang for my buck is for me to experiment first, especially with the language models. Um, you have to be careful with those because they're all kind of unique in their own way, and it's not like you can never just like get them to intentionally do exactly the same thing every single time, even with the same prompts. So that being said, I notice even when I'm working in VS Code right now, I use Copilot in VS Code, and I can do whichever models that I want from there. But and I do a lot of agent mode building from there. But whenever you change models, the behavior can change tremendously, and all models aren't suited for certain tasks. So that being said, like, I want to get this build done and lovable, but I think that the first thing to do is spend some time, like, try some ideas out. And I have some ideas that I can always, like, put through the ringer. Like, I have real projects that I want to build, so we might build something interesting today if Lovable is working out for us. And then that way, when I, like, in the next 2 weeks, I would be using Lovable to build out a project for a startup that I'm working with, like helping them get their MVP to market right now. So lovely, lovely, lovely things. Like I said, I'm gonna, like, when I show my screen for Lovable, it's only gonna be my material that I'm working on or an idea that I'm working on. But it will be informing like how I go about that process for the other projects. And hopefully, who knows, I might make something good and lovable that I've been needing. I really want like a membership site. I'm just thinking about it. I really want a membership site. I want to see, and Lovable is so interesting too. I mean, these AI builders are interesting because I want to start getting creative with what kind of projects that I put into them. Like, they're going to be best with like traditional software, web development, or web applications, software applications. But I want to build some interactivity for the stream, and it would be nice if AI code generation could help me in that process, because I usually end up stalling on my um like stream integration projects, just because I get down a rabbit hole and like some specific thing that I'm trying to learn in some tool like doesn't work, and it's like this is not my main job. Like, I have other stuff I have to do, so I end up abandoning a lot of the projects that we've started for the stream interaction. So I'm hoping, like, I've been using AI for I've been doing like AI augmented or whatever AI like driven code development for the past few months straight. I've been doing it very consistently. Like, I have one project that I've done, and at this point I haven't really handwritten any code at all. And it's a whole like process. Like, I can add features. The whole entire deployment pipeline is built out and everything like that. So it's a live app that's running. But I've been able to get a lot out of the AI builds, but I've also like run into different like hiccups. But that's okay. That's I feel like learning like the pros and cons of different tools and everything like that, it just makes it easier to use them in the long run because you know what to use what for. So anyways, I'm excited to play around with Lovable, but I do need to make sure I do a couple things. So I'm about to grab my I need another smoothie. I need a oh, I need my plate and a snack. And then Justice needs macaroni and cheese. Um and I'll probably get some water. Dang, I wish I had some ice in there. I'm gonna put this bottle in the freezer. So I need some water. And then I think once I do that, I will have everything I need to go forth with my afternoon. Let me check my email real quick before I get up. Oh no. All right, I am. Let me see. All right, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Close this. Oh, I forgot to say, I'm going to say this multiple times today, but I'm thinking about doing a like learn along type of thing where it's quite a few new features or new I don't know, development techniques within AI, especially for language models that I want to get familiar with. So I need to learn about using MCP for sure. I need to get more experience with fine tuning, different fine tuning methods, because like not necessarily just fine tuning in particular, but um, various ways of augmenting the knowledge set of the language model. Basically, I need to work on some of that stuff, and then trying to think what else. Mostly though, like it's MCP. Let's see. Hugging Face has a good number of courses. Let me see. So basically, I'm thinking like whatever content I'm trying to learn. Y'all know I usually would do it live on stream. Um, but I want to be like intentional about some of the things that I'm about to go back because I'm about to relearn some things. So I think I'll feel comfortable like almost like leading like a learning group on this stuff. So that way, like my big issue right now is I feel like I'm being able to, even in the amount of things that I am consuming and the amount of time I spend with AI like projects, I am getting a chance to implement the things that I'm learning. I'm getting a chance to like take on new opportunities due to how I've been like navigating like my learning journey as well. Um and I want that to be something that people can like participate in a little bit more real time because some people that follow me, like you guys are newer or you might not know how to code yet, and that's okay. And I spend a lot of time like making courses and things like that. But AI is moving so fast right now that I feel like I, I'm not even really getting a chance to like produce like workshops and courses and stuff in the time frames like that is useful and helpful. Like, at some point this year we'll end up starting to have more formal courses. Like I need to start from the beginning and teach Python up, and like I will be building out a curriculum. There's going to be courses and things that people can follow. But for right now, it's like if you're already in the thick of it, for the people that I know that you guys are already like you already a active developer and you already have the foundations, at least programming foundations, and you want to like get into AI, pretty much what I'm thinking is like hosting a learn along, which is going to be I'm going to I'm going to put together my learning plan based off of the things that I know are important, especially for, like I said, right now I'm doing a lot in the LLM space. So I'm going to put together the courses that I plan on going through, and then the ones I'm going to go back and do some foundational courses in the beginning, because I do think it's important for me, as well as if you want to start out, I want to make sure that people start from a good solid base. I'm not going to go all the way back to Python right now, but I will be teaching a Python class soon. But like I said, for people that's you're already active, you're already in development, you want to learn how to do this. Um, we're going to start with a deep learning course, like a deep learning for coders course. And then we're probably going to do dang near the whole Hugging Face catalog. We might do some other like courses here and there, like some that are like free, available to the community, but very trusted, very much like teaching us like what the cutting edge technologies are and techniques are right now that we need to know how to use. So I'm going to put together my learning plan. I'm going to be doing that regardless. Um, but I think that there's some people that would just join me. Like when we did 100 Days of Code, it was like in 100 Days of Code, everybody's working on what they want to work on. So maybe it's still similar to that, but legitimately pretty much like almost like think of me as your very, very, very advanced TA slash assistant instructor, right? So I'll be using the documentation and the materials that are provided for the courses to help others like learn as we go. And yeah, I think like if anybody is trying to dive in right now, but like want to have a group of people to like work on it with, that's pretty much what I want to put together. So it's almost the end of the year, so, but I don't want to wait till January. I can't even lie, because we don't got time to be waiting. And I'm not gonna wait. I have some stuff I need to get in. So I'm actually thinking, because like in the holiday times, there's a lot more downtime. So I might end up getting a chance to really get into studying. By the time Christmas rolls around, like I want to have like a normal cadence. I want to know exactly what's going on. I want to be like getting into the study schedule no later than that time. So I want to let y'all know. But oh, I need to put it on Twitch as well. I don't know why. I don't think about like certain things like, oh, you need to like have an email list so people can get like I can send y'all information and everything like that. We have Discord, so feel free to join Discord, and I'm going to be rearranging how Discord is set up and everything too. So just figuring out how to like make things easier for people to participate in. But let me drop this in the chat too for you. Official Shammer. Thank you for following. Let me see what you say. Hold on. Let me put my, where's my chat? Chat. Okay. Good afternoon. I just started my coding learning journey. I am learning in Python. Oh, let me see. List by Paul. Oh, a playlist by Paul McWhorter. 9 hours in. Hold on, let me look into that. I'm a YouTube learner, y'all. I love YouTube. So if you welcome. Yes, if you're doing Python, that's gonna be perfect anyway. And I will be teaching the Python course very, 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 very soon. Really the only thing about the Python class is I just need to make a set time frame for it, because I already taught this certification this past summer, so I've already been through this material, but I just haven't, it's been so much going on, I haven't had a chance to sit down like since the program was over and just process through um how many sessions do we need. And because in the program I was teaching for, they had some other components as a part of their program, so I want to like take into account like how much time are you actually gonna need within session, like, and then versus how much time are you gonna need to study. But the cert will be going through the Python Essentials 1. That's the course. It prepares you for the PCEP, which is the entry level Python certification with Python Institute. So it's a good foundational course. And then I haven't taught Python Essentials 2, so I'm going to teach that as well. But I will be teaching those like by the new year. I will be that for sure having the Python classes going, and then that way, so if you are like newer to the journey, what I'm trying to develop right now is how to get you from beginner coder to like AI engineering as quickly as possible. And I have a history with doing this, like I worked in coding boot camps and things like when that was early on and we were still developing curriculum and figuring out how to teach people. So I do have experience and success in building out like successful curriculums that actually help people get jobs. And like to this day, there's people who I get to like meet them years and years later and see like how far they've come in their careers. So my thing right now is it is very it's kind of been this kind of been on my heart for a minute, but it's hard to go. You can't just go straight from like Python into like actual like machine learning. Like if you want to train models, you can, but it's like there are foundational machine learning and AI concepts that you need. Like, um, yeah, there are some other concepts that need to be taught before you try to get into if you want to do like model training or even just understanding at a higher level what different types of models do and like where the like what kind of like applications different models have, because different models in AI like different model types are almost like their own field and genre. So um there's some fundamentals that you really need to know that I'm trying to just like fill in the gaps and make sure that the learning process makes sense. So this is gonna be my first time almost like basically trying to build a full stack machine learner um uh path. But there's also AI engineer, and I think AI engineer is like really like popular right now and like a good space to be in because it's the combination of like software development but understanding not necessarily how to fully train. Hey, it is a police car. But it's understanding like with AI engineering to me it's more understanding how to incorporate AI as a like technical like feature into your applications. So that's what I'm working on right now. So like next year that learning path would be like open for people to like participate in. But right now I'm making sure that I touch up on some of my fundamentals because I'm getting further into like I'm getting deeper into um I don't know, deeper into the weeds with AI and like a lot more technical, like complicated things that I'm doing with it than what I've done in the past. So it's good for me to go back and start to learn those deeper fundamentals. And my personal goal is to do research in AI. So like some people know, like I'm pretty much using all my learnings to help like go back to school to get a PhD, like all these things. So I do have the personal interest of actually going to the theory level. You do not need to go to the theory level. Um, but so you would also see for me, I would do other things like I try to follow research, look into research papers and all these other things. So it's like depending on where you are in the process and which types of elements you might be interested in, you can always kind of pick and choose like what seems interesting. But a lot of the things that I want to focus on is going to be in that space. So like even today, I'm going to spend some time on Lovable because I do a lot of builds with. I'm learning how to implement AI into my development workflow. So I have a pretty nice workflow that I have, and I actually have a talk that I at least outlined a talk for showing my entire AI development workflow, which pretty much goes from like the conversation that I have with the founder when they want to work on the project, all the way through to like how I do my PRs and actually deploy my code and put it in production and monitor it and things like that, because those are the things that people kind of skip. Like I'm doing AI in a real application that I use and have to add on to and then building every single day. Like that's a different life than just that first prompt. So yeah, I got a bunch of stuff that's gonna be coming out, but it's always like for right now it's all AI development type and Python is essential, baby. Okay, as long as you stay this way, don't climb up on me. Okay. Yeah, my legs can't hold you. I have a 3-year-old down here. His name is Justice. Um, Java to Python is, oh yeah, it's completely different. Now I have experience in using different languages, but I've been doing this for a while. Um, and I've had different jobs and different experiences, but I did like move over to Python. I moved over to Python intentionally for machine learning. Because I wasn't really necessarily like a Python person at all. Um, so, and that being said, another thing that I've been trying to do that I will be working on is polishing up like my proficiency with Python. Like, because when you have a certain amount of experience, you can get away with using things, but like it's different when I can just pick up a language and use it versus like when I need to understand the nuances of the language and like become a specialist in it. So I'm at that point where I'm like, I need to go clean up some like knowledge gaps and things like that because like I said, it's one thing to get something built and functional because like as a software engineer, you're going to constantly be picking up different tools and things like that. But sometimes you definitely get to a point where like, okay, this is something I need to specialize in. So for sure, because Python is that essential like machine learning language, and I want to get into the theoretical level, I want to do research, and I want to help develop like newer ways of building models, potentially training models, right? So like I have some other things, so I will be diving like so much deeper into Python as well. And when we do the Python essentials, if I haven't sat for the PCEP yet, I'm going to sit for the PCEP, which is that certification. I'm going to sit for that with the next cohort that I teach. Um, I might end up doing mine beforehand, but I've been through the material and everything, but I couldn't take the certification before. Like I just like it's I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole, but um I need to set aside time to take my first certification, and I'm just doing it because at the end of the day, for me, I already have a lot of experience. I don't really need the certification, but want to I want to challenge myself around the technical fundamentals of the language and establishing like by some outside sources that I am like meeting those benchmarks for myself. That's a personal goal. So I think like basically what I'll probably end up doing because that's like that'll be a cool way to do it together. Like I'll probably do the PCEP with the first cohort. Like I'm going to do it together next year. So we'll be working on it. We'll be working on it. I've been seeing a lot of negative stigmas with AI making coders foundationally weak. Oh yeah, I mean AI definitely will make you like oh, I saw somebody said like AI just enhances like the existing person. Um and his take was I don't remember this guy who it was. I probably saw it on LinkedIn. His take was like code base quality has gotten worse due to AI. That's not inherently because AI is bad. That is because code quality is already a problem and an issue, and the same that issue is like being exacerbated by the use of AI in the process. Um, that being said, to me, like at the end of the day, it is a tool. It is a part of. It's something that you're going to have to learn how to use. Like that's where I'm at this point in the process. I was very concerned in the beginning, like this is going to weaken people, but at the end of the day, I don't think so. I think that what people don't understand is like I don't know, software engineering is a little more survival of the fittest type of situation where it's like you either adapt or you don't, and at the end of the day, the fluff is going to be removed. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Like we're just in a wave right now, and a lot of things are being done, but shit is hitting the fan also. So at the end of the day, like companies are not going to let people like you will not be able to be a subpar engineer. Like that has just never been the case. There's always these waves of like the hype, and then you get a lot of fluff in the industry, and you get people who I mean, I'm not saying like oh everybody has to be a specialist, but most companies were overstaffed. Like people are sitting around doing nothing. Like people are coasting for real. But that's not the type of career path that software engineering really is. What do you want, baby? Software engineering is like if you don't keep learning, if you don't adapt, if you can't like, go like move with the waves of like the trends in the industry as far as your technical experience, then you're going to be phased out. That's always been the case. Um so I'm less concerned about it in the long run, but I just feel like people need to be conscious of it because what's going to happen is a lot of people feel like they might be getting away with something, but software engineering is more than just the code that you write. It's a lot more of things that we have to do and think about. So people spend a lot of time right now, just like I said, if you prompt and make one application, okay, cool, you did that. But guess what? What happens when 1 million people need to use your application? Like there is so many other things you have to consider and do and put together and think about and adjust for, and you like learn over time. Like if you don't like to learn, if you don't like to like solve challenges and things like that, this is not the field for you. But I feel like at the same time, I'm really justice. I'm really enjoying what are you doing? I really enjoy it. What do you want? I I'm being harassed by a toddler. Jesus. Stop. Turn it down. Oh, it's dead. Oh man. Dang, he messed me up. I was on my soapbox. The less you know about your code, the harder it is to fix in the long run when it hits the fan. Yes, the less you know, the harder it is. Like, I mean, I still have to consider the trade offs of if it's worth me working with the AI agent in some cases, like, because I have to teach it and it doesn't really learn it doesn't actually learn. Like, we have to figure out how to actually teach them, but then that's a whole nother rabbit hole in and of itself. But, um, what I was gonna say, I feel like the big thing that worries me and the thing that I want to work on and why I'm so passionate about figuring out this like pathway of like how do you learn the essential fundamentals that you truly need to know, because like with coding boot camps when we did that wave, like what made that work is you went from a model where the primary like learning set is just theory, very little hands on, to how do I get the person like the most essentials that they need and enough hands-on experience that I can get them in the door, because in software like you're going to learn as you go always, but you don't necessarily need a whole bunch of theoretical knowledge to start out. But down the line, it becomes more important and it becomes more useful and more necessary. So that's why, like, if you don't have a lot of software, like, I feel like AI development is very productive for me because I know how to speak in the language of software. Like, I've been doing this for 10 years. So I have a lot of experience and I have a tremendous amount of like hands-on experience in a lot of different in different languages, in different frameworks. I know myself as far as my learning process. I've taught a lot throughout this process as well. So I know how to articulate technical topics in layman's terms. I know how to literally speak about software even in the way that I would say probably the majority of software engineers cannot like in a way that they cannot articulate. And it's not about like intelligence level, it's just being able to convert the ideas that you're doing in software into very plain English is not something that most people are good at. Um and that's like that's the biggest gap right now. So if you don't have any experience and you never built the API before, you're not going to know like, oh, hey, tell it to set the routes up this way. And even if you should call it an API at all, you probably don't know like RESTful patterns. So you also don't know how to evaluate whether the code that is generated is even legit or logical a lot of times. Like, even if you have some basic experience, that'll be good. But you need to be able to work with another person's code essentially, like when you do that more agentic style. So I don't know, I think it's interesting, but it has to be figured out. And I think with the educational like process of that, um it's it's levels at which you can come in and like get started and figure out. And it's like different distances you can go along the path. But yeah, I love it. I feel like it's exciting to me. It has given me like a new breath in like my passion for programming, because I was starting to get over it honestly. Like, I love software and software applications and building software, but I was just kind of like, let me just go up a level. I don't need to be doing day-to-day coding. Like, I'm good. Because I was like, I like the challenging part, and just due to what I do, because I freelance and work with like startups that are just beginning. A lot of times, like, the amount of time that I work with them, I'm not going to get to the point at which things get very complicated, if that makes sense, unless it's a hard challenge to solve at the very very onset. Usually it's like, you're still building the very fundamentals. It's very different to be in that like MVP kind of builder stage, where it's just like, let's just get a little prototype thing going, then to like work on software at scale. I loved working on software at scale, and like the design challenges of how you're putting your systems together and things like that. So now that I have AI like assistance in the process, a lot of the mundane things that I don't get excited about doing anymore, that's suitable for the AI to handle. And it's okay. It is okay that, like, yeah, that technically is like entry level work, but the problem is like, we still need entry level people, right? Because at the end of the day, you need to learn how software works. You need to learn how to speak in the language of software. You do need some hands on experience. You need to know how to evaluate. So I actually feel like it's getting harder than easier, but people don't realize that yet. I saw this talk where the guy was like, um, he said all software engineers are becoming tech leads. I think that's the dumbest idea of all time. I think that that will completely blow up in our faces. So let's just put that there today. But that is literally what's happening right now. But just people don't see it. Like, good AI driven development comes from me knowing how to write a spec and knowing how to oversee project management, and like, it's so many elements of like higher level like thinking and orchestration that is a part of even being in that mindset of tech lead. So I think that that's just, I don't even know where that's gonna go, but I'm just watching. We just watching and we just gonna see. But in the meantime, I feel like, it's still practical ways. I'm just trying to learn like, what are the best practical ways that I can help in the process of people like who are newer to programming, also getting those fundamentals that's going to help you legitimately establish yourself in software engineering, because you do need a certain level of understanding and experience. But I think it's going to be hard to get that by um unless you're intentional, kind of where we're at right now, because nobody knows. Nobody knows what needs to be done or how it needs to be done, and people are coming up with their own hypotheses. So feel free to hang with us over here. We trying to figure it out. It's figure outable. But it's exciting too, because I'm like, this literally is how it was whenever coding boot camps were coming out. But um I took like a boot camp, or I first started working for a boot camp. It was like 2014. It was already a thing, so it's kind of already established. But now, no, we in a new territory of like, this is the new type of programming, and it's just its own paradigm. And it's spawning all these different offshoots and branches to focus on. So I'm excited about that part. And I feel like what I want people to be able to do is like capitalize on the experience as early as possible. Because for me, whenever I worked in coding boot camps, like, I got trained in coding during a very popular time, but I was ahead of the wave as well because I worked for a boot camp before we officially started a boot camp. So I helped build early curriculum even when I was early on learning myself. And building curriculum and teaching actually helped me become a stronger software engineer and establish myself like in the professional arena within my like my local ecosystem where I work. So I know like there's a lot of opportunity in growing your career, especially like maybe like getting some momentum into your career from being like capable of following along with the most, I don't know, whatever, the trend, not trend, I don't even want to say trend, but it's like the path is being figured, like the path is being paved, and as much as possible being able to like navigate, be at least, if not up to speed with riding the wave of like on the forefront of the technology and the opportunities. That's where like you get your most bang for your buck. But either way, it's like it's going to be a beneficial time for software engineers. I just think that people are not looking at it in a certain type of way, and people are also being naive about like what the technology is and how it works and how life works. So that will, that will bubble up at some point, and it will level itself out. But it's just there's a certain level of hype that's like, okay, whatever. That, yeah, that's probably a little bit extra. But on the flip side, I feel like there's a lot of benefits to being right here, right now, like learning and using and applying, and getting into startups that and whatever, because this is literally how things are going to be done, like moving forward. The technology got mass adoption so fast. So that's what surprised me the most. Like literally huge, giant tech companies instantly saying yes, we want all of our developers to have like AI IDEs and stuff like that. Like that's a big deal because as a software engineer in like a big tech company or even a big enterprise company, especially an enterprise company, you cannot get new technologies that fast, like ever. You can't even tell them like this thing been around for this many years. That's such a fucking process. Some people's whole jobs suck because they cannot get like some modern tooling into their workflow, to the point where dang near overnight giant tech teams was like, yes, everybody can have AI. Like we don't care. Anybody gets it. Like that's a big deal. Like I don't know. This is so interesting to me. Um Let me see. 4-year degree or a coding boot camp. I mean, I think it just depends on what you want to do. I think school has its place, and I think school is an adult decision that requires a couple of years of life experience of navigating what it is you really want to do. That's what I think about school. I'm going back to school, but I also left school and did a boot camp because it was a lot of extra things that was going on in that process, that like systemic things and just dealing with like issues I shouldn't have had to deal with, that got in the way of me learning. And I just really wanted to focus on learning, right? Like as a first generation college student. And like I said before, I feel that most of the things that you can do to get into software, what made the coding bootcamp wave successful was the fact that you you don't need theoretical knowledge most of the time to get started. Like you need certain foundations, but you don't need theoretical knowledge a lot of times until you get further along in the process. Or it depends on what company you work for. Sometimes you really do need to come in the door with that. But for the most part, a lot of the theoretical things that you will learn a from a 4-year degree is going to be used further down the line, unless you are directly getting into something like research or like if you're going to be in like something specialist, if you want to do a high tech company, computer science is a good foundation. Because like you're not gonna go to Google without knowing data structures and algorithms. Like I promise you, you just not. Like it's essential. You need to know it. So it does depend in that regard. But I think like boot camps are still a viable option. But the problem with boot camps right now is nobody knows how to get you from beginner programmer to AI engineer, for example. I'm not gonna say nobody, but it's very different than what was established within the coding bootcamp era. So it's still up in the air how to like build that educational pathway right now. I feel like there's certain companies and things that are helping with the process of making it like more accessible. But I don't know that enough people like all of the coding boot camps are kind of like phasing out that were like some of the bigger like boot camps or more long-standing boot camps, like people that came out of that like 2014 era startups, and they were startups. So people don't think about it, but it's like the startup life cycle, that's 7 to 10 years, and that's something I even learned over time. Like the goal is to make money off that business from the founder's perspective. So like companies now, they might get acquired in this time frame, or um, unless they went public, you gotta make your you gotta make that money back for the investors. Like the portfolio has to return. So um I don't know, it kind of, I feel like it left a gap because some people just at least what I saw, it was a company I was working for, and they completely shut down their whole software category after ChatGPT came out. At first they were like, let's build this into the curriculum, and it was a whole thing, and then they launched the curriculum, and then they were like, never mind, we're canceling software development boot camps, period, and just said, if you teach software development, we're gonna be offboarding you. Like um so I feel like a lot of people that were already specialized around that, like companies that were, they are like dying off or phasing out. um so I'm passionate about like figuring out what the new version of that looks like, and also about education reform and higher education, because that could be very much better as well, and I have lots and lots of opinions about that, but that's a whole nother rabbit hole. But that's one of the other reasons why I'm going back to school. Like I want to pursue my PhD. I do want to do research, but I do also want to teach in higher education and everything like that. I always knew I was going to go back and do that because I was in school for engineering. Like I actually was a senior in engineering when I just like took my boot camp. So it just, I don't know. It's always interesting. The path is not very straight. Uh, 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 uh. I asked because I heard that coding boot camps are a full time job, but degrees help in theory and long term learning. Yep, that's literally it. But like, yes, a boot camp is a full time job, but people don't. Everybody's trying to speed run everything nowadays. So it's like, even with the boot camp, I feel like that kind of, I mean, it's a full time job, but like people still feel like, oh, you can just like learn it in 3 months or something. It's it's like it's a lot, like it's a whole learning path that you go down. Like when you start the boot camp, you're just in the very beginning. But like, yeah, the degrees, that's very much a lot more theory. It's way more for long term. Like if you want to get more into systems or like higher technical jobs, then it'll be good to learn that. But I don't think you have to do it in the beginning, and so you can pick that up along the way. But it's good to learn about your learning. How does your learning style work, and to find like resources that helps you, like as a software engineer. Like if you want to keep up, then you need to be like paying attention and learning new stuff like proactively. Like if you are a proactive learner and like you really get intrigued, that's why I say if you like to solve problems, like it's perfect because you literally have like you gotta you gotta keep your attention span up. People nowadays don't that attention span, oh my god, can't sit still for 5 minutes, like cannot read a book. And I'm no shade. It's just I understand how it happened, but it's so unfortunate because it's like you have to be able to like stuff takes time. I mean, you can't just watch a 10-minute video and then, you know, like hack the internet. That's not going to it's not going to happen that way. I'm more interested in two angles. We were used to know how mechanisms will result in X, Y, and Z. AI changes that since the same prompts can generate different results. Yes. AI is it's not predictable, and we have to account for that, which is a whole thing in and of itself. And then tech became a skill that you don't need to know anymore to deliver results and get the fruits. It comes sometimes, most times with high prices. So naturally, good salespeople with tech skills are making a ton of money, and appears to everyone else SaaS is the way to go, but not true to everyone. Not true to everyone, but it's like, well, I won't say, but it's like it's not true for everybody. I agree with that. Well, first of all, yes, AI versus like traditional software. What's different about it, like, or with prompting? Because we were talking about language models, large language models. It's not. It's not predictable, and that is the problem. That is a huge problem. Not only in just like the concepts of how you protect the software and protect like certain like uh uh um what I'm thinking, what's the word I'm thinking of, like functionality within the system. That's one thing, but just in general, as a software engineer or developer, the way that we like a lot of how things work in programming is based off of predictability. If I can, like, I know if a value is in this range, or if it's this type, or if it matches this exactly, like a lot of our foundational tool sets are based on things like this, such as testing and things like that. So like have like if I write a test in my program, I can say like, hey, when you call this function with this value, you're supposed to get this back. And then I can set up test automation, so like if I accidentally break that function, then the test will let me know. Like, but AI, like with prompting, it's not the same. So but that's a unique challenge. Like that's what I like about this era is we are at a point where there's problems everywhere to solve and things to specialize in and things to become known for and subject matter experts in, just because we're in a very new era. Like you can dang near pick up any really good thread and run with it for the rest of like for the next 10 years of your career. It's that type of thing. I feel like I'm kind of figuring out what mine is, but it definitely has to do it's affected, or I would say like the number of years of experience I have affects what it is that I'm trying to do right now. So that's why for me, I'm like, I know a lot of people that follow me or that are in our community. Y'all are newer, and I'm not trying to give you the impression that you need to start and try to read a research paper tomorrow. That's why I give y'all context on what it is that my goals are. But at the same time, I'm still trying to make sure that as I'm going further along, because I started this path many more years ago, very secretly behind, not secretly, but like subtly in the background. Like I've been on telling y'all that y'all needed to know AI. I've been telling y'all that. It's people that like I tried to tell y'all, but it's okay. We here now. So I started to learn about actually get into machine learning in like 2018ish. I want to say that's when I got really interested in it. There was a wave back then. There was a push where it got a little bit of momentum. The developer tooling got good, and it was like there was some, I feel like we got a substantial like feature or new like technique at that time frame that was starting to work. It was the computing power catching up with the theory and the research, and we had like a little wave where deep learning got popular. um so I was like learning. I was on like I feel like it was Udemy or Udacity. No, it was Udacity. Udacity, like they're like a old, they like a I don't call them old now, but they've been around for a minute. But that's like a older like online platform that's been around for a long time, with like tech training. And but they always have like, they're more like driven by the cutting edge of what is like needed to be learned in technology. So they had like AI boot camps back then. Um and I was doing some material there. Like that's where I got like books and stuff. I got, oh, this book. I have I'm supposed to have been through this textbook, but like they were teaching us based off of like, they were teaching us theory, but they were teaching us just enough theory. But you need to you need to have a math background. You need to like linear algebra, which I personally do. But they were teaching us more like, that was at a point where it was like, hey, here's the research and here's how we applied it. And then like, but you need to be able to like do your own model training and like apply somebody's research paper. It was kind of like that. um, and then it became like APIs, like more traditional like software style ways of interacting with and being able to like put together workflows um without having the theory of it. And that was like a big thing, and it was a good little push. But like also, yes baby, it is a taxi. Blockchain and Web3 became popular at that time too. Yep, put the bus together. So since those got popular, I see you, baby. Put it over here. No. No. But yeah, basically, I think blockchain beat out AI at that time as far as developer attention. So nobody paid attention. Like OpenAI, they was operating at that time frame. Um, but we actually had a program where we were training developers to learn AI. Yes, baby. And the project that my students did was a rap bot, but they were trying to like combine the yes, baby. Put it together. They were trying to combine the styles of multiple rappers into the same text model. It was impossible. It wasn't, but you needed a lot of compute power back then. Now that's like that's exactly what LLMs are. But the research that powers all of the technology of like LLMs today came out at that time. But I didn't know about the transformers. And then OpenAI was popular, so I followed what they were doing very earlier on and stuff like that. I like really liked OpenAI. They used to be my favorite AI company, but I don't know what they doing over there nowadays. Like, because they were providing like opportunities for people to learn and stuff too. So I think Hugging Face is a good resource nowadays. Like, as far as one of my go tos, and because they're building a strong like accessibility like aspect to the educational process when it comes to like AI as well. And I think that's super important, and also like the open source side of things too. It's not easy to do that and prioritize that. It's easy to prioritize money and opportunity, and what's the word, gatekeeping. So I feel like a lot of the tech companies now that are trying to like empower developers to learn this and move through this, like take advantage of that, because they letting y'all in on some secrets. Like working in big tech is, you learn so much. Um, depending on which, like especially if you have a non-traditional background, you will learn so much because it's a lot to it. I love like working in software. I love like system design and everything. So I just take my nice little journey. Now we'll see where we end up at the end. Yes, baby. I'm breaking up. Sorry.
Mom,
What? Oh, my frames were dropping. Yeah. Let me see something. Hold on, baby. Stop screaming. I was never on my Ethernet. Mhm.
Mom.
Okay. I think I'm switching to the Ethernet. Hold on, baby. What? The pizza. Good job. Let me see. I'm trying to see if the connection is okay. Mhm. Good job.
No.
And I need to close some windows.
No.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
It's out.
Close.
It's out.
I'm gonna leave this one, but I'm gonna close most of it.
It's a beast. It is. Babies. Babies.
Look at what? The piece. It's a delivery car. Yeah. Is it picking up? It's not. It don't want to. Hold on. I'm gonna disconnect my Wi-Fi for a second because the Ethernet. I want the Ethernet to have control over the network. Wi-Fi. Baby. Stop. Stop. Let me see. Okay, well, stop. I swear, every time I get to, I told y'all, every time I get to dropping a little bit of, it always stops. Every time.
Mom.
Yes, baby. Which one? Oh, it's on fire. Yeah, you do it. Okay. I got to dang, why the internet be hating on me, bro? That's not right. That's not right. Let me see. Oh, and I need to close some stuff. Okay, just keep closing stuff. Firstly, I want that to stay open. All the rest of that can close. So I got 3 windows now. What's in here? Okay, I got real work to do too. So I feel like it's trying to pick up. Let me just. Because I always have to deal with this. First of all, close it. Yes, baby. You need help? I'm gonna close Teams. Because my computer is also freaking full right now. Because I've been doing data ingestion for this project, for this app I'm building, and I have so many zip files of historical data that need to be purged. All right, I'm about to disconnect this Wi-Fi for a sec. Wait, let me check the other connect. Yeah. I see the car. It's a red car. Uh-oh, the tire fell off. Can you fix it? Does it need a tow truck?
No.
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 Yes.
Yes.
The car.
Yep, they got to put the car car on the tow truck. Let me see.
It's
Oh, look at the network connection. Look at network. Look at. Okay, wait. It says USB. Yep, USB. So that's connected. So now let's do this. Baby, baby. Ouch. Stop.
Hi.
No.
Mom.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Mom.
No, sir.
Mom.
No, sir. Is it gonna work? Why? Why am I being treated this way?
Door.
Why am I being treated this way?
Door.
Every time I have something to say.
Mom.
Hmm?
No.
Wee.
Wee.
Okay, we gotta do some work though. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
Bash.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
Did you?
Let me see something. But it shouldn't be on that connection. Sad. What? Mm-hmm. I'm about to go to Discord. See, the internet be hating on me. Let me see. Oop, how do I do it? No, stop. I'm trying to stop. I'm about to go to Discord. Cause it's just being weird. Did they post?
Mom.
Yeah.
What is this?
Mhm.
This. Mom.
Mhm.
This. This.
What's that? You gonna fix the car? Yeah, you gotta fix the car.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm about to go to Discord.